Hey everyone, it's Brandy and you're watching Abstract Crafter. Welcome back, or hello if this is your first time watching me. I have an unboxing for us today, such as the title would suggest. This is from New Frog, and I was contacted by a lady. I can't remember her name because it was so long ago. She contacted me asking if I would consider doing a review for them, and in exchange for compensation and exchange, she would send me the diamond painting free of charge. Sounded like a good deal to me. New Frog isn't like a site that I would normally order from, simply based on the fact that you don't have much for choice. I haven't seen a whole lot of reviews other than the ones that are going around right now, that the majority of them are also reviews for the company that they've been contacted. There are some that are not, and everybody's been upfront as far as I could tell. And from what I can also tell, there's two people that are contacting. One person will give you one painting, and the other person gives you a few. Well, they had, might as well start opening, huh? And they had quite a, I don't know, sites like that are kind of hard for me to navigate because I can't really tell. And you might be hearing some crunching in the background. That is my wonderful dog having his daily bone, his treat. That was so he wouldn't, he'd behave while I filmed a video. You see, you think it's kids that you have to worry about, but really, it's your husky. Not really. But, oh, ish. Oh my God. It is soaked in here. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. It's soaked. It's literally soaked. I'm gonna smell. I mean, it doesn't smell horrible. It has been raining in the area for like a week, so I'm hoping this is new. Let's see. How the heck did that get in there? Probably from up here. But there is a, like, kind of a hole over on this side. But anyway, so yeah, they also had some multi-panels, and I've been wanting to get a multi-panel, but I'm so picky when it comes to those. Ew. Ugh, I feel like I gotta go scrub my hands after this, but, I don't know, I'm just really picky because I know that they're ultimately gonna be pretty large. And, oh, can you see the water it's left on my table? Gross. I hope it's okay. Ew. See, now it's made me lose my train of thought. I'm picky, is what it comes down to. Because, it's a huge thing that has to go up on the wall. And sometimes I have to look at each individual panel as well to see if I would even enjoy doing the panels separately. And most of the time, the ones that I've liked anyway have had at least like 2 panels that were just solid color, and that's not going to be very enjoyable to me. This one in particular goes with some other ones that I had got. See, I'm being very careful. Okay, so the canvas is dry. Let me flip this over, get rid of that wet thing. I mean, it feels okay. I'm hoping it's okay. Just because you get something for free doesn't mean you want it to be all crappy. So why don't we talk a little bit about what happened with shipping, because obviously you've seen some of the reviews. I'm sure you have at this point, and most people got theirs already. Well, I don't know what happens to me, but I think because I'm in the, on the road in which most of my packages end up in Chicago at some point, which I like to call the black hole where diamond paintings go to die, or any packages really, because it seems like they must be a huge hub. I'm not sure if anyone's from that area. You should let me know. It appears to me as though there's a distribution center and like maybe in a custom center. I know when we had it here in Duluth, my sister city here, they had a warehouse, a distribution center, which is where they sorted all the packages, and then they went on further to the post office themselves. So, we'll get into price and size in just a moment here. So this was ordered for me on September 13th. It was shipped relatively fast, the next day in fact, on September 14th. But then on September 16th, for all the way till October 20th, I had no updates. There was nothing going on with it. So 35 days of total silence. And it ultimately ended up on my doorstep on October 26th. So 43 total days. I can't really blame that on New Frog. There was no information. So I can't begin to explain what happened there. I won't dock it for that. So yeah, I mean, I really don't. Ultimately, I don't really care. I don't know that I would have even cared so much if I had paid for it myself. So anyway, let's get back and actually take a look. So what this is, they call it the 4-panel colorful tree, so I kept the name. And here's panel 1. Now this store likes to contain all their panels on one canvas, which I don't know if I like that as much. Oh my god, hold on. I just realized that my AC is on. Let it shut down. Okay, I'm so sorry if that last little bit was hard to hear. My apologies. Anyway, so I'll probably cut these apart because I do like when they're separate because it makes it easier to work on. And when I frame it, I'm certainly not going to frame it in this huge long thing. I want to frame them individually like this, which is user preference. So, and it appears that they do use DMCs. They do have one singular chart for all 4 panels. So let's get into it. And I have no idea to tell you which one is which. I can guess, but once we see it all, we'll go from there. So there's the first 3 panels. And here, here's our beads. And it is a full round. This particular canvas retails for $12.93, which I thought was a pretty amazing deal. So I did get 2 kits. I don't really understand why. I mean, I guess if you wanted 2 people to work on it, you know, like one person could start on this side and another on this side, but, and it does have another chart, which if you know me at all, you know I love this, and right here I'm a little bit worried. This plastic was folded over. So, and it's ripped. Sweet. That really sucks when your clear covers rip because they aren't that easy. So, good thing I saved my opaque paper. So why don't I insert, I'll show you this little thumbnail of a picture up here. And then I'll insert a better picture from the website right here. So, I really liked this one, and I thought of all of them, this was going to be the least likely one to be like pixelated since I can't choose a size. Now, they say this is an 80 by 40, meaning each panel is meant to be 20 centimeters wide, 40 centimeters long. I do have a measuring tape, so why don't we just see right now. Tyrion, can you chew quieter, please? He just looks at me like, you're crazy, right? You're joking. So I'm going to try to go on that red line. Let's see. Let's go up where you guys can actually see. I'll start on that black. And since it's so wrinkled. So it's actually 16 centimeters. Where would 20 even lie? So if it was 20, I think they're thinking of a white border. So we got to go to 21 actually. But that wouldn't really make much sense either since... So let's try something else. I'll try to do this so that you can see. But we'll start on this side here and try to run this as flat and as straight as possible across. Also, taking into account that I haven't flattened the canvas myself yet. So let's try to, we're going to move the pillowcase with us. I should so it stops rolling on me, but... So that, starting at the 1, or at the 2, comes to 73.5. I know it's landing on 74.5, but I started at the 2, so I have to take 1 off. So it's, I don't know where they're getting 80 from. Bear with me here. So again, if don't remember me saying it, typically they'll count the size from the blue line, which is the cut line, generally. So if we start there, and you're probably, I'm off camera for this part, but, I mean, I'm trying to see where they get their numbers from. I'm always curious. So there it is, from this blue line here to this blue line here is 80. So that's the measurement they're using. Let me fix my pillowcase. My makeshift tablecloth. So I'm guessing then this way, going top to bottom, if we start all the way at the top and go to the bottom, that is lining up at, let's see, I'm starting at, oh my god, brain fart, 39.5, so it's not even 40. So this ultimately ends up being, try to get that as straight as possible, 33.5. Let me jot that down, 33.5, because then it saves me time later. And we'll look at these drills in a minute. 33.5. And I think this was 17. It's just, yeah, 16. 33.5 by 16. That's quite a bit different than 40 by 20. And let me pause and remeasure this entire canvas so I can write that down. You don't have to watch me do that again. Alright, so now as far as framing would go, for each one of these little guys, I kind of round up the little tick marks, because you're not going to find a frame that's, unless you make it custom, that's going to be 6 1/8. So I rounded it up to 6 1/4 by 13 1/4 for each panel if I were to frame them separately, which I plan to do. And then I'll actually round that all the way up probably to 7 by 14. And that way I can get a white mat behind it. So I tested the sticky a little bit, but let's do a little bit more. And so it's looking like this whole thing has 28 colors, which is nice. And I will cut these. I'll just take a ruler and an X-Acto or a pencil, and I'll mark it, and I'll try to cut them as evenly as possible. I won't make you guys watch me do that. And this cover paper is so wrinkled, so I probably won't do much as far as that stuff goes. And this paper, actually, it feels weird, different. Not like weird, different, just different. I've only felt that type of cover paper once before. And oddly enough, was on my other Four Seasons tree. So, yeah, I'm going to have to play around with that a little bit more. I just want to get it lifted up enough so I can try to flatten it, because it is a bit wrinkled. But ultimately, the canvas looks really good. It doesn't look like there's any damage, which is why I've said it once and I'll say it again. I prefer the clear covers because it's most likely glue instead of the double-sided sticky tape. So, yeah, it's pretty wrinkled. So you can see it on the back. We'll turn that over once I put my paper back down, my clear cover back down. I'm most likely going to have to iron this, or I'm not the biggest fan of putting heavy books on them. It's not to say that it doesn't work. I like instant gratification, I guess, which is why I choose to iron my canvases versus weighing them down. I did it, if you watched the 4-pack snowman unboxing, I did it in that one. It took 3 days before I even started seeing results. If you have patience for that, that's perfect. And you have mistrust of ironing canvases, that's perfect. I just prefer to iron. It's faster for me, and then I can store it easier. So you can see it's just a little bit damaged, which is not that bad considering how long it was in the mail and how far it traveled. So, I see all kinds of glitter stuck to the back of this. So why don't we look at the drills, and then I'll give you my opinion on it. I just want to show off some of the colors. We want to make sure we have all 28 colors. And, I mean, the nice thing about this versus a panel that was separated is that your colors are going to be consistent across the board. So, I would probably just, once I cut these, I will probably just make copies of this and make little strips that can go along with each one for when I work on each panel, because chances are I won't work on them all together. Storage-wise, it's going to be perfect, because then I don't have to worry about getting 4 separate storage containers. So in that sense, but let's turn this back over so we can, so I can shake the crap out of you. I probably just need to move my cameras. I want to see how bright these are. Ultimately, I really like the picture. It's not one that I've seen anywhere else. Not, at least not in this format. So that's nice. Now, it's going to be hard for me to be pretty unbiased, considering I'm working on that Evermoment, and those colors are super, super vibrant. So, typically, companies will cut these in strips of 10. They did not do that here. They do it in strips of 20. And these colors, I am just at quick glance, they are pretty dull. They're not as bright and vibrant as I pictured them to be. So let's just take a rundown of the colors here, shall we? You know, I can't even tell you which one is for which canvas, because they don't separate it that way, which, no big deal, no big deal. So a lot of, yeah, I don't know, ultimately the color scheme is kind of dull. I wasn't really picturing it to be a pastel painting at all, really. I mean, the brightest colors really are like this orange here, and then we get like these pretty blues here. But really, it's ultimately kind of dull. I'm not really liking the colors at all. But you know what? I'm not going to judge it until the thing is done. So we got all 28 colors, and that's about all I can do as far as that goes. There's no inventory sheets. There's no need for one. They have all the information that you need on the diamond painting itself, so that's good. So let's flip this thing back over. But even if you're looking at this, this seems brighter and more colorful than the colors that we just looked at. And then even if you're looking at this thumbnail again, I don't know, I just don't feel like the colors are what I pictured them to be. I guess I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is. So the only thing is there's no identifying numbers on there or on the package themselves to go with the number on the top of the canvas here. So that's something to keep in mind as far as storing drills. Let's see, what else do we want to... So one thing I was trying to keep in mind as I was going through this unboxing is, if this had not been sent to me, would I order this? Quite honestly, the answer is no. Mostly because New Frog doesn't appeal to me in the sense of, I don't know the website all that well. I've only seen reviews as of recently. I know they're kind of like a store in the sense of like Wish or AliExpress, just without the marketplaces. They have a variety of stuff. The other store that I use to buy my miniature dollhouses, that banggood.com, is a very similar store, and it's another one where this is a drop ship. They order these probably from all sorts of different vendors. Their prices are low, but you're also waiting a long time. I've only heard of a couple of instances where you're getting them very quickly. With that being said, for this particular canvas, yes, I think I could recommend this. And had I seen this one in a review, it might have swayed me enough. But seeing the colors, I don't know, I'm on the fence right now. So, I don't know. I'm a little still disgusted at how wet this outside packaging was all the way to the inside. I mean, the only thing that stopped it was that this was completely sealed. Had this not been sealed, this canvas most likely would have been ruined. And it's just soaked. So why don't we get into, I want to just kind of look over, here's my checklist. And again, if you want a more in-depth explanation as to how I do this checklist, then the link is in the description box. So let me give you an up close, because I didn't really show you symbol clarity. They are extremely clear. They're very easy to read. They don't have my favorite dummy lines, but I think that there's not very many big open areas that it would be okay. The sticky it did feel nice and sticky. I can't tell you as of yet what kind of sticky, if it's going to be just good sticky, or if it's going to pull the drills, it's going to pull the filling out of my drill pen, or if the drills will slide around. That's something you'll have to wait for the post review to know. I am going to put this higher up on the priority list, not just because it's a review, but because I really am curious. I haven't seen any post reviews or any information on this company or its sister company. I can't remember the name of it offhand. But yeah, so let's go over our score and see what I think here. So the canvas condition, I mean, other than it being wrinkly, all of this stuff is easily fixable. So I would still give it its full point. The symbols are very clear, so it gets the full points there. We have a complete bead inventory. Everything was included, canvas beads, and an extra tool kit. So that's nice. The outside packaging, I'm taking that point away, because I am not a fan of this type of packaging. And then the only thing protecting my canvas was another similar packaging in which all of it was wet. So it was not protected against any sort of elements. Obviously, the whole thing was wet. I showed you that in the beginning. My tablecloth was soaked. When I opened it up, there's water everywhere. So had one little thing gone wrong, had this been outside a day longer, I do feel like it would have gotten inside this packaging. This was not well packed for the distance it had to travel and the way it would have had to travel. And I think had they packed it a little bit better, you would have seen this deep wrinkling that you're seeing on this top part of the canvas here. That would have been eliminated. So they get no point for the outside packaging. And how the contents were packed, I am very much so inclined to take that point off too, because everything was inside here with the beads and the toolkits wrapped up inside of there, which is also contributing to all the wrinkles, because your hard tray is pushing up too and causing more, wrinkles and pinches and stuff on the canvas. So I am not thrilled with how it was packed. So I think I'll give it a half a point, because I have seen worse. This is not the most ideal. It is not my preferred way to have things packed. A lot of companies pack them this way though. But because of how it went with the outside packaging, I can't. It's going to just get that half point. So this is sitting at a 6, 7, 8.5, which is just barely good enough for me to order. If I saw a store with an 8.5 score, I would be cautious in my approach to buying anything from that store. So we'll have to see if it can be redeemed with the post review. If you would like to see a drill with me on this, let me know. I'll put a poll up in the eye, so look for that. And let me know if you want to see a drill with me on this. I will most certainly do that. I will probably do this one because in my eyes this is the prettiest one. It's got more colors that appeal to me. If you would like to see me do a get ready to drill with me on this, let me know that too. I'll put 2 separate polls up there and you can answer both, or you can let me know down in the comments. But 8.5 out of 10, that's where this unboxing. I am saying research carefully if you order from this store. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying make sure you're reading reviews, make sure you're checking as many videos as possible. reading all the description info that the website will offer on the painting that you want, because it's not always clear if it's full or partial. This one is a full drill, thank goodness, because I think this would have still been okay as a partial. But with that being said, that's all I have for this review. Take of it what you will. But alright, I will let you go. Have an awesome day. Have fun diamond painting. Have fun crafting. Have fun doing whatever it is that makes you happy. I love you, friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.